All right, folks, we are back and we are back better than ever, Rob. How we doing, big guy?
Good on yourself.
Not bad, man. Another beautiful day, another beautiful Tuesday afternoon. A lot cooler than the recent weeks.
Yep.
Speaking of last night, man, on my way home, it was about 67 degrees. It was beautiful out. And then this morning, a little humid, but still kind of crisp in the morning.
Yeah, it was. I want to tell you that today's garbage day, so it was nice taking out the garbage and being a little bit cool. It was I put on a sweatshirt. I was a little chilly.
Oh yeah, I think we're heading in that direction. We don't want to, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're talking about the S word, but
sure,
fall is coming. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even next week's forecast, I think everything's like in the 70s.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, which is beautiful. I'll take that weather all year round.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but for the most part, I mean, the last 4 or 5 days just been nonstop rain. So it's nice to see the sun. Get a little vitamin D in our systems.
Mm-hmm.
You had yourself a weekend there, Big Rob.
Yeah, went up to Indiana. Went to I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's Swan Lake Golf Resort. They have 2 courses on there, black and silver. They had their hotel, cabins for people to stay at, shop house. It was, you just had to park your car and you could be there for the whole weekend. So it was good. It was hot, very hot. We played 36 Friday and then we got 54 in on Saturday. By the end of it, my hands were just done, absolutely done. I think I had more tape on my fingers than, I mean, swimming in your clothes. It felt like you were swimming in your clothes by the second round on Saturday. It was bad. Every time you drank either a beer or water, obviously you sweat it right out. But some good golf, some bad golf, but yeah, I can't complain. I was thinking about you though Saturday night. I meant to send you a picture because I had a tomahawk. And I think that has jumped into my top 3.
It should replace your number 1.
It doesn't replace the prime rib, but it jumps in the top 3. It was pretty good. Had like a garlic marinade over it. It was really good. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, if anybody's looking for a guy's trip destination, it's like 2 hours away. You do lose an hour because they're on Eastern time, but I mean, I think we paid $395 and it was unlimited golf, 2 nights stay, breakfast, both mornings. Can't beat it. So
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. I mean, the courses they got pounded with rain Thursday night. And so when we got there Friday morning, there was standing water, but for the most part, I mean, the greens were pristine. Fun holes, fun routing. Nothing really gimmicky, some really cool dog legs. You could really, take the ball off the tee and cut some angles and put yourself nice, but there's some long par 4s. So it had a little bit of everything for everybody. Good gambling course for sure. The par 3s were perfect. So I highly recommend Swan Lake Resort.
Nice. I'm happy.
How about yourself? Did you get any golf in?
Did. I got in on the last day, Whitetail Ridge.
Nice.
Yeah, we're supposed to play Wednesday. And then the course took some rain prior to, and then the forecast wasn't looking good. So we moved it to Friday. Friday ended up being beautiful out. There's kind of nobody really out there. So it was nice. Dude, Whitetail Ridge is better than I remember it, Rob.
Really?
Of course, you remember I went out and scouted it probably like late September, early October last year.
Yeah. Talked about the clubhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, we played the 62 or 6400 tees. So I was curious to see how the course 1 played in the summer, and then number 2, how it played from the tips.
Okay.
It is, I'm telling you, it's a top 5 public course in Illinois.
Really?
It is that good, dude. It is unbelievable. Just as good as I remember. It's super well manicured, probably some of the best greens I've ever played on a public course. It's just super lush, the clubhouse, the range, everything that goes into it. Dude, with our discount too, I needed socks. I forgot socks. So I bought socks, I bought balls. And it was still the guy in front of me. I remember the cashier saying $70. And then I went up, balls, socks, tees, of course, tees are only like $1. But anyways, and then mine was only $70. So our our discount was awesome. But yeah, I just was blown away. I just wish it was closer. I would be there a lot. I would even entertain a membership there just because that's a course where you could play over and over and not get sick of, because you can play it from 62, 64, and it's a much different course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was great. Played pretty well, except for like the first 6, 7 holes. Birdied the first, came out firing. Second hole doubled.
Oh no.
Yeah. I lost 3 balls in the first 5 holes.
Oh,
due to penalties, and somehow escaped out of there with, I think a 40, something like that, a 41. And then the back, I went 37, 38. I don't know. Anyways, I ended up shooting 79. So it was a pretty decent day.
Yeah.
For the amount of penalties I had. Felt good all day, hitting the ball well. Just the back nine there is awesome. The front is great because the front's more kind of target golf. It's a little bit tighter. The back kind of opens up, some fun holes. Overall, like I said, Whitetail Ridge is about as good as it gets for public golf in the state of Illinois.
Sweet.
So yeah, I would recommend we get out there together before the season comes to a close, because I want you to, experience it. It's that good, man.
So how far is it from your house?
It was about 50 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
No.
We teed off early at like, I don't know, probably 7:30.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So yeah, I left early. Traffic wasn't bad. So it was nice.
How long was the round?
Round was quick. It was just me and JT. We got the round in probably just over 3 hours.
That's good. That's always good.
Yeah. Like I said, it felt like nobody was out there. We waited on a couple shots, but for the most part, I think the group in front of us was done after 9, and that's when it picked up.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah, but I mean, it's just so good. I can't recommend it enough, especially guys who maybe missed the event. I would go back out and play it. It's good, man. It's for sure going to be on our schedule next year.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Speaking of more golf, Rob, did you catch any of the Wyndham?
I got home later on. I was watching here and there. I like to see who's in, who's out, where the numbers fall and stuff like that. So I was paying attention on Twitter, going on, just seeing the live videos and stuff like that. So, but again, I like to see who makes the 125, who misses the 125. Can't believe Ricky got 125 on the dot. It should be interesting to see. I thought that was a great point yesterday about, with the LIV and the temporary restraining order, if, they're allowed to come back in, that's what 3 guys that were in the top 125, what happens to Ricky and, 124, 123, do they just make it 128? Right. It's just kind of crazy to see that. But yeah, I didn't catch as much as I wanted to, but I also feel bad for what was it? Lower? Justin Lower?
Yeah.
The one that, he triple 18 to miss it. Is it 126 now or 127? I mean, I think he still gets 18 starts, they're saying, but that's gotta be heartbreaking. But so how about you?
Didn't catch any of the Wyndham, to be honest. I was more like you on Twitter, just following along. Tom Kim, coming out, would he triple the first? He tripled.
Yeah.
And then ended up, winning, getting his first PGA Tour victory. So, he
got all those points, like how when Spieth won John Deere, he jumped up all the way to 34th. He was not even on it, obviously, because he didn't win yet. It was just kind of crazy.
Speaking of points, did you see Bubba stealing spots from KFT guys to get in the KFT finals? FedEx Cup points I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw Monday Q's his tweet about it yesterday about how and it's
simply just because he hasn't teed it up yet in a LIV event. So
right. Yep.
So it's crazy, man. I know that Chris Nagel, who we've mentioned before, and then there's 3 other guys that would be, at the very end of it. So yeah, they got to do something about that, man. I mean, you're talking about a potential career-changing opportunity. Sure. I mean, if the guy's already gone, get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, talking about somebody's livelihood, it kind of sucks that he could come out last week and say that he's going to be for the 2023 season, but yet,
right. And I get it's contractual and probably some legality to it, but I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, the hate those guys must have for one, not only Bubba Watson, but for Liv now too. Like just being on the bubble, knowing you could have got in, but it's a guy who's just sitting on the FedEx Cup points, just sitting there, literally.
Yep.
So it's kind of wild. Yeah. Other than that, I'm pumped for the playoffs. We got the St. Jude this week.
Yep.
I think it's going to be entertaining. I don't know how Ricky snuck his way in, to be honest. Or like,
it was crazy because now that qualifies him obviously for the playoffs, but it also gets him into the players.
Well, somebody was like, we need to audit of the FedEx Cup points.
Right.
Like, is that based on like exemption or like, how is he getting in?
I don't know too, because the Shotgun Star talked, I think, about Nick Watney yesterday about how he's missed like the last 13 or 14 cuts, and he's still within the top 125 because he came in like second in the fall series on one of the events or something. I can't remember what it technically was, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it should be. I mean, there's got to be relief, obviously, for Ricky, and I like him a lot. I hope his game turns back around, obviously. But I mean, that's kind of crazy that to have the year that he's had fall on the number. But again, is it as we're talking right now, what time was the litigation today for the whole thing for Liv? Is it going on now or later?
Yeah. But and I know it's on Zoom too.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. I can't see if they get to come back and play the playoffs. Like I would think they would have to make it 128 instead of knocking those three guys out.
Yeah, and that's super. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Is Nick Watney? I actually forgot about him until you mentioned him.
I think Andy brought him up, or maybe it was Brendan. But either way, they brought it up yesterday in their podcast, and it's just like how to reformat the system, like how these young guys can't get in and stuff like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Liv, Cam Smith, Leishman, rumored they go.
All that this morning.
Yeah. I think it's probably been in the works for a while now.
Yeah. I would love to know what Cam Smith's number is. I mean, obviously he's getting more on Leishman, and then it's like, if it's the two of them going over there, right? And then they do that next year. They do, obviously countries as the teams, right? It's like, is Smith the captain? Is Leishman the captain?
I would say Cam's probably the captain. And I would expect his number to be probably north of Bryson.
But he was 130 or something like that, right?
Yeah, to be honest. It's got to be. I mean, he's been on fire, especially with his open win. I'm sure he probably threw out a number, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, sure, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would assume it's probably anywhere from 150 to 2, if I had to guess.
Just think about that, right? He's obviously in the top 10 for the FedEx Cup. He finishes out. He makes a boatload of money, and then he goes away, and then he goes to Live and makes another boatload of money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy. There's going to be another wave, though, and there's been rumors, but you could expect for sure after the playoffs, maybe even leading up to the playoffs, there's probably going to be another wave of like 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
I just don't think the PGA Tour can sustain it, to be honest. I mean, it's certainly taken a huge turn. And then I was reading, so apparently there was a roster of like 82 guys. So the live roster for an event is 48, right?
Right.
But apparently there's a full roster of like 82. And even though those guys aren't playing, they're supposedly getting like 120.
Yeah, they get one. Yeah, I saw that 120 event, right? Even not even playing, right?
We're not even playing.
Yeah.
So you're talking about roughly 40 guys, or let's see, 30, 35 odd some guys, making 120K.
Yeah.
For doing nothing, for not playing. I mean, that's, you don't think KFT guys, AMs coming out, like sit there and just look at that number alone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I could just be on the roster. I don't even have to be in the event.
Right.
And they're still paying me.
Sure. And if they're young enough, they could go do the Asian tour, stuff like that. No family. Right. They could still travel, golf, get their OWGR points, things like that.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. I'm super interested what happens with the litigation and what comes of it. A lot of people think that, Davis Love kind of put, the PGA Tour's foot in their mouth with just the whole anti-Strauss comments. Yeah. And then the officials from, Augusta National, pretty much what they said, if guys are going to live, they're essentially not welcome to play here.
Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be some fireworks in the next week or two.
Yeah. Golf Unfiltered's podcast yesterday was pretty good too with the lawyer. But like the whole reading about them with the tents, telling the tent vendors they can't go over there and stuff like that, or Ogletree's what his comment about, like, when am I supposed to sit on the couch and not make money type deal thing too was crazy. So there's a lot of,
even Phil technically was suspended after he knew. Mm-hmm. So basically the officials from Augusta said, you're not playing in the Masters.
Yeah.
And then the PGA Tour suspended him. So things like that, I think there's definitely some things there.
Yeah, it should be interesting for sure.
Weren't you supposed to get out to?
Yeah, we're supposed to play Heritage Bluffs last Thursday, and things didn't line up. So I'm trying to, hopefully, I see some people trying to play Thursday afternoon, or Friday, try to get golden hour in, have a presentation for work in the morning. So maybe Friday afternoon, we'll see, but I definitely obviously need to get out. So I've got a couple of days left to try to do it. And I don't want to miss my favorite course, to be honest with you. After last weekend, kind of want to get back to, a nice 18 and finish strong.
That would be 2 consecutive events too.
I know. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not too thrilled about getting ran down for Cantigny still.
Yeah. I mean, potentially, if need be, I could potentially play with you Friday if you need somebody, but
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I'll figure it out. I appreciate the offer. I know, like I said, the Slack board had some chatter going on, so I'll have to jump in on that and figure out if there's people around. I looked at the tee sheet on online on their website, and Friday afternoon looks pretty open, so it's a good thing,
Yeah, gotcha. All right, we're gonna jump right into the Book It with T FedEx Cup St. Jude picks.
Sweet.
What do you like?
I was reading some about, I know Rory's favored. I kind of like that, but then I was reading about how people, or the reporter was like, Spieth too. That'd be a big payday. So I'm like, well, I like Spieth, so I'm gonna go with Spieth. Shocker. Yeah.
Big time shocker.
Big time shocker. How about you?
I haven't really looked at the field much. Just looking at T's picks. I mean, Alex Noren. So I'll just go over T's picks real quick. His long shots, Noren 130-1. Love that. Anytime Noren's 130-1, I'll sprinkle on that. Riley 100-1. Neiman 50-1. Young 30-1. That's another good pick. And then his favorite, John Rahm 20-1. And you could book it with T.
It's when I see Young, it always makes me think of Will. How about him letting go of his caddy mid-tournament this weekend?
Yeah, kind of surprising.
Very.
I don't know. I didn't read the backstory on that. Do you know more info?
Not really. I mean, I don't. What he put out, they're best friends. He's like his best friend for because they've been together for the last 3 years, pretty much. So
a mutual thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I know your caddy is important, but it always cracks me up too when like a player gets mad at a caddy, because it's like you're the one that's taking the swing, dude. You're the one that's putting. He's not putting. It's like, So I get the yardage thing, sometimes, but it's like, your clubs, what you can hit, type deal thing. And so that kind of irritates me sometimes. But yeah, I thought that was shocking. So
I agree with you for the most part, but I also think that caddies are super underrated. I mean, if you have a really good caddy, I think it's a game changer.
Their knowledge is, for sure. Like Bones, perfect example. Like, right. With him, with all his years of knowledge, all his books, all his notes, for sure.
And I would assume there's probably like different levels of caddying on the PGA Tour. Like, I'm sure there's caddies that are on the PGA Tour that are just like an autopilot. And, because I know it's mostly up to the player. Like, some players don't want to read from their caddy. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure there's caddies out there that literally just hand clubs all day and don't say a fucking word. And then there's other caddies that players want them more involved and say, hey, what do you think of this read? What do you think of this? So I think it just depends. But to your point, like, his putting stroke is horrendous. So, you can't blame that on anybody. But I don't think that has much to do with it. I wonder if it's more of just a kind of a business decision. Like, hey, I'd rather you be my best friend than, us kind of in business together in bed and something go wrong down the line. So let's just sit here.
Right.
But getting into more into the caddy side, that has always intrigued me a ton. Like, your boys Spieth and Greller, like, obviously they're a top 3 caddy player combo, right?
Yeah.
I think that's something we could probably dive into more on an episode, literally, of just about caddies, and maybe even, we could bring on a caddy, which would be super cool. So I think there's more to it than
100%.
All right, we'll dive.
But yeah, like getting back to T's picks, though, I do. When you say young, it's like, God, he's due. Like, he's absolutely due. Like, I like that pick a lot.
Big time. Are you ready for the top 3, Rob?
I am ready for the top 3. So Saturday night, we get done golfing and we order some pizza, and we're all sitting around in the what do you want, like the common area, right? And they have a big TV on there. We turn it on, and someone puts on Draft Day. So, do you ever see Draft Day?
The movie?
Yeah. No. Neither have I. So half the guys are like, "Oh man, this movie's great." So you got a few guys just sitting there eating pizza on a guy's weekend type deal thing, just sitting there watching Draft Day. I was dying laughing, but it got me to think about what would be your top 3. I know we did top 3 golf movies, but what are your top 3 sports movies outside of golf?
Hold on. Is Draft Day a golf movie or is it a football movie?
It's a football movie.
Draft Day.
So Kevin Costner, it's about the Cleveland Browns and with their draft.
No, I'll have to search on that one.
Yeah. But it got me thinking, what would be your top 3 sports movies outside of golf movies?
That's a good one. There's so many sports movies out there, but
nothing could beat my Banana and Apple. So don't worry about it.
I mean,
I got abused for that one. So
I have at least one in here that's going to absolutely throw you for a loop.
Okay.
It's probably my third.
Okay.
Little Giants.
Oh, fuck no, man. That movie's great.
Great movie.
I can't stop watching Icebox. Come on, man.
Yeah. Little Giants is unbelievable.
Yep.
Number 2, I would probably say The Program.
I just watched that last week, and that is movie. Oh man.
One's hard, but I would probably have to say Major League. That would probably be
the
one. I mean, honestly, you could probably substitute anything with number 1. The whole list. I mean, there's just so many good ones. Rookie of the Year. You got, Ace Ventura can be considered a sport movie.
Place is out.
Yeah. So I mean, how about you?
It got me thinking because so 3 would have to be Cinderella Man. Love that movie.
Great movie.
That's a great movie. That could be on at any spot in the movie, and I'll keep watching it if I flip it on. 2 is, I got a theme here. Russell Crowe. I love Mystery Alaska.
don't know if I've ever seen that.
It's about Alaska and the hockey team, and Pond. It's great. And then number one, it's kind of funny. Is like I love James Caan, and I love the program. So watching that last week brought back the memories of how much I like that movie.
Oh yeah,
but there's some honorable mentions. Like Any Given Sunday is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But yeah, good call, Little Giants, dude. I love Little Giants.
Oh yeah, I mean the program's ruthless. It's just old school.
Yeah.
In the trenches, just the eye black, just steroids. Like
sure. Oh yeah,
the movie's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get shit from Vince, so I better honorable mention too is Rudy. But
one of the worst movies ever made. I mean, being a Michigan fan,
yeah.
Still to this day, like and it's not. Well, it is the whole Notre Dame thing, but I just don't get the movie. I mean, the guy stunk. He was on his bench, got in for a quick hot minute. Quarterback made a poor decision and held on to the ball, and Rudy got a sack. I mean, it's unfortunate that movie exists, to be honest. So until then, Rob.
All right.
Until next episode, we'll see you in the fairway.
In the fairway, Tom.
See you later.